Hello everyone and welcome back to our final series of the day. It's going to be Adroit versus Reality Rift and I'm going to join Winter today. Hey Winter.
Hello.
Seem a bit tense.
I just had my dinner, so yeah.
That's not very tense. That seems very
You
lucid.
had your dinner in a more relaxing fashion because you had more time.
I did. I got to watch the last
I was on a
game.
timer.
You got cold dinner.
Oh, whatever. Comes with the job.
It's alright, it happens. Anyway, so we're going to have our lower bracket match. So we've already got Trust. They've managed to make it through already, and now we've got our final game of the day. It's another best of 3. It's not a best of 1. So both of these teams, they have a chance of making it through, but again, they got to play it through.
Best of ones
It's not
are more interesting, are you saying?
Actually, that's kind of true. Sometimes you get cheese. No, you don't like cheese? I like my cheese with crackers.
That was too expected.
What
BO1 cheeses are fun, I guess, for the audience, for everyone to watch. Always something surprising.
So what about for you, though? What do you think of cheese?
Part of the game. Deal
Part
with
of the
it.
game.
Deal with it.
I'm assuming you hate cheese. Because if you play against it, it's the worst thing ever. No?
It's part of the game. I deal with it. It's either I cheese you or you cheese me.
Oh, okay. And I'll throw the crackers in. It's all good. So,
Please leave some for me.
please leave some for you. I will. I'll leave some. Just for you. Anyways, hopefully the draft will be starting up soon. We should be able to take a look at the team stats. Winter? No? Yes?
Sure, why not?
Yeah?
And my crackers, thank you.
More crackers. So we've got Adroit here, Natsumi, Mac, Bok, Boomy, and CML on the side of Adroit. They played, would you say, okay for their opening set? They seemed to be very good during game 1, but then game 2 and 3 they sort of fell out as a squad.
I wish I could answer you, but I was on my way here, so I would elect to agree with what you said because I have no choice.
Well, if that's the case, then I'll let you observe the match, Senpai Winter. But I believe you know who our next team is. It's Reality Rift. You saw them just now. How do you feel Reality Rift played in their best of 3 set?
I think they were. It was hard to say though because the opponent played so bad that. I mean, sure, they played. Reality Rift just did their job. You know, they did what they're supposed to do, but they weren't really. I think overall very impressive because they were just like leagues ahead of their opponent. You know, the opponent couldn't really make them even sweat for something in the game.
Do you think there were any shortcomings for Reality Rift? Maybe some mistakes that shouldn't have happened in their previous series?
I think overall they had pretty good direction on the game. Laning wise, they did really well. That was the defining moment in both the games against their opponent the last time. Itemization, I would say maybe the underlord didn't have to buy Atos, like small errors here and there. It would definitely affect you in a more intense series. Movement, I think overall they were good. Team movement, vision, placing the walls, everything that was good. How they use the smoke, just the small little things, you know, like the itemization and I mean they weren't really tested, so I don't have much to say about the other parts of their game because I could only look at the laning phase and that's what won them the game.
Yeah. So at least we'll be able to see both of these squads duke it out in this best of 3 series. Anything you might want to look forward to in the game? What kind of heroes should be targeted during the picks and bans?
Dota right now feels like first 10 minutes of the game the supports have a lot to do in terms of securing the farm for the cause. Like they have more impact and more control over the game compared to before because supports have more items right now, and the game will revolve around having the 22nd pick, the overall last pick, so you have the strongest hero in the game, so you're gonna play for that particular hero. So it's gonna be good to have safe supports so you can buff your carry, save the carry, and the buffing support as well. That's why you see right now heroes that are quite popular among the better teams, the stronger teams. There are Venge, Shell Demon starting to be picked. Those heroes that are anti-carry heroes.
The anti-carries. Okay, pretty interesting. So we're going to go through our first phases of bans. Winter Wyvern was quite popular in our first set. Ancient Apparition, pretty interesting ban. Is this an indicator to maybe a Morphling pickup?
No, I don't think so. Maybe, but the hero is just very good right now. You might find it very weird to say that A is a very good hero at the moment, but he just fits the overall play, the meta. He's very strong in the lane, number one. Then he's very useful in the team fights, and like you said, he does prevent certain heroes being picked up. The Huskar, the Morphling. Maybe not prevent, but discourage.
Yep.
Sometimes people still pick it if it's a
Yep.
good game for it.
So Snapfire being secured here for Reality Rift, a very, very popular pick. But Adroit, they're going back for the Medusa. I'm not sure if you saw this, but Adroit are huge fans of picking up the Medusa. As a second pick, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's just going back to what I said. Dota right now is about having the strongest hero in the game. Either you pick the strongest hero early or you pick it last. But the downside of picking it last is a lot of the times you don't really have good options because if your opponent knows what they're doing, hero's gonna ban out. They're gonna ban out the better heroes and you don't get the good ones. And we saw Alliance do this at Starladder, but I don't think it was the best idea because it allows the opponent to abuse your laning phase. Because Medusa is like not a hero that's really good in the laning phase. And if you pick the Medusa and your argument for it is he's the strongest hero in the game, yes.
Is it
and
the strongest? So in your opinion, you feel like
they
Medusa
think
is?
the teams that pick it think that she's gonna be the strongest hero in the game, and they think that she can be flexible in the lanes. You can go mid, you can go to safe lane, but I think that even you go mid and safe lane, even if it's so and so flexible, you're a weak laner, so it doesn't matter where you go, you're gonna have a hard time.
Fair enough. So I'm going to ask your opinion about this. Reality Rift, they're pretty active team during the early phase of the game. Adroit, during their series, they were quite passive because they ran this Medusa. So what kind of heroes would you want to have to not only protect the Medusa, but be able to defend against onslaughts of early ganks from Reality Rift?
Slaves, you want slaves, bodies, heroes that use their bodies to protect you.
So what would you suggest?
For Adroit right now, I think heroes that are good in the lane, maybe Lich or what else is coming to my mind? Enchantress support, but I don't know if they actually play. Oh, Enchantress is banned. Um, I mean, you get the idea. You want heroes that can be your body and strong in the laning phase to secure lane. Or you want heroes that are very good at fighting and defending choke points, you know, like Slada, off lane for example. But I'm not sure if the hero is going to be picked much anymore right now because the nerfs are pretty huge on the hero.
Yeah, in our previous, Adroit played against Trust. Trust picked Slada in all 3 games against the Medusa, and it worked out quite well. They utilized the vision, the minus armor.
Of more of the heroes like AM if I'm looking to counter Medusa.
For Reality Rift?
Yeah, if you're
but how's
talking
AM in the meta?
decent, not bad. If you give him the right environment to succeed, he can. The environment right now, the meta is about the strongest hero. Being AM is that kind of hero, you know. He wants to be the strongest hero, but the downside of AM is he can't really fight until X minute. You know, you don't know when.
You don't know when he's
You
finished
need
farming.
Either two or three items. So that's the downside of having AM. Whereas you compare it to Medusa, Medusa is the strongest hero, kind of hero, same category, but she fights much quicker and she farms faster. But I wouldn't say that definitively Medusa is way better than AM. I still think that there are games that AM is just gonna win you the game, you know, if you pick it in the right game.
Yep. Alright, so we're waiting for our third pickup here for Adroit. Likely a support.
5 seconds.
Or would you want to pick up an offlaner here?
Most likely a support, a position 5 hero that can secure the lane. I mean, I mentioned, what was it that I mentioned? The Venge.
There's the
Venge was quite a good option here. It gives you a save against the clockwork. It gives you the aura. Medusa loves the extra range that you can get from the aura. It's overall a very good pickup with the Medusa. However, he is also not very, or she is not also very good in the lane. So their laning phase, if Dusa and Venge is laning together, they are not that strong. They do have the ability to push out the wave, use Terror and the Mystic Snake, so you avoid lane confrontation. You just try to play to break even and you push and you pull, try to get a pull off. They have that going on for them, but otherwise I think there is a chance R can abuse this weak laning phase, you know, with some maybe Omni Knight, some strong laner.
Omni Knight is available in the pool if they want to pick that up. Is there a chance we just see Reality Rift go for a 20-minute, 25-minute high ground push? Just try and beat the Medusa before she hits her timing?
Not that easy though, because they already picked Snapfire and Clockwork. Those supports are not that kind of supports that you mentioned that you want to snowball and push. If they have Shadow Shaman, yes, I can see it happening. Sure, you can gear it with your cores, but I think you still need your supports to enable your game. If you don't have that kind of supports, I don't think it's that easy for them to push. And Medusa is not that easy of a core that you want to go in the game and say, I'm just going to push your high ground, you know, you're going to not have time to farm. Medusa is great at defending the high ground.
So interesting choice here for Reality Rift. They've actually snapped up the Phoenix. We have seen
Strange.
KYXY play the Phoenix before. Do you think it's a KYXY Phoenix?
Most likely, they're going to have Phoenix plus Chronosphere, I think. That's why they picked it. That's why the pick sequence looks weird. And also because I think they feel that Medusa is going to the side lane and Phoenix could abuse the Medusa in the side lane. You could kill her. Because she's right now with a very weak lane partner, Venge. And you have Clock plus Phoenix. You trap the Medusa, she's dead.
So what kind of mid laners would you want to put in here for Reality Rift?
Depending on what is picked right now for Adroit. If you can counter the mid lane and make it your win condition, yes. Otherwise, it's gonna be like someone that outskills Medusa, like Arc Warden, AM. Those are the two heroes that are going to be good call-to-call matchups against Medusa. Void is like so because they have the Venge. You can swap her out of the Chronosphere. So that I wouldn't really advise that too much, even though it seems like it's the obvious pick, right? You have the Phoenix and you have the Snapfire, so instant synergy with the Chronosphere. But I think Void is not a very strong hero right now.
We'll see what they want to pair up with this lineup. If it's not the Void, what do you think it could be? So far, what does their lineup provide?
Like I said, Arc Warden and AM, they are very good options right now. You obviously you don't choose both. You choose one. You choose one of them, and then you have a Space Maker.
Right, Adroit. They're gonna go for the Beastmaster. They want to work with the Vision. They've got BKB, Piercing, Disable.
How nice if you have Winter Wyvern against those heroes.
Unfortunately, she got banned out in the first phase.
So I think right now, the heroes that come to my mind are the same one. Or maybe PL. Okay, PL is the
PL?
third option, yeah. Because PL is great against Beast in the lane. He's also great against Dusa because you buy Diffuser, you burn her mana. But the lane would be weaker. On the other hand, you have Snapfire, so overall your lane is decent, compensated. So your last pick is going to be Space Maker, like a hero like Puck. Not sure if they have the option to pick another greedy hero because you have Phoenix offlane. Phoenix offlane is very greedy and you don't have stun on Phoenix. So I'd rather they have a stun hero.
Yeah, so Puck is available. What about the OD? OD's been quite hot lately as a mid.
Got Nyx. Turns you off.
What
You
about
see Nyx, you don't want to be OD.
what if you're Adroit? Would you want to pick up OD? You would have an extra save for the Deucer.
Yeah, but it might be too greedy. Oh, well, all in all, it's gonna depend on what RR picks first. Then they will decide if they have the liberty to get another greedy hero like OD.
TA getting banned out by Adroit.
Yep, RR has to decide right now what do they want to finish up their lineup with. They need like someone that has stuns. Like Puck is the very easy one to pick. The other options are Ember, but Ember there is Nyx. You kind of hate playing against Nyx. Other heroes like Shadowfiend. Shadowfiend could be reasonable if they want to push, but because of the PL, Shadowfiend and PL, they don't work. They don't.
But it's synergized.
Yeah, they don't coexist well together on the same team. So yeah, like, synergy is not that great.
Are you also looking at maybe a mid that can transition as a core because you're going up against the Medusa, or would you prefer pure utility for this mid?
I think both is fine. They could go for pure utility, or they could go for someone who fights first and then transitions later. But I don't see that kind of hero. Maybe Dragon Knight, but because Dragon Knight you can fight early and then later you are reliable as a scaling core. But that's going to mean that overall composition is going to be a bit greedier, and you don't have the overall last pick. The Medusa could just be placed on the side lane, and they're going to pick a Huskar to counter your lane, or whatever there is, or even the OD you mentioned earlier to counter the lane. So it's gonna be troublesome. Like all in all, this pick has to be a general hero, you know, like a hero that doesn't really care about getting countered.
What if Adroit goes for a very elusive hero as their last pick? Because Reality Rift don't really look too good in terms of disables. PL doesn't really give you a
Yeah,
stun. Phoenix
possible.
only has the egg.
It all depends on this pick, what RR goes for. The easy one, like I said, is gonna be Puck. The other options are all very iffy. It's gonna come with like a very big flaw in your overall lineup. Something is gonna be lacking if you pick something else other than Puck. Whether you decide that's worth it for you to win the
Dire
game.
team pick.
Kunkka ends up
Kunkka
being
is
the
like
choice.
Kunkka is actually a much better pick than Puck. I forgot about him. Similar hero but better. He's a catch. He's a team fight, and he does provide them with everything they are lacking. But the lane again could get countered because Kunkka is not as ambiguous as a Puck.
And
But they don't
Ember.
choose to counter the lane. They choose to just pick a hero that's useful with their lineup. And Ember is also a good hero going up against the PL.
So they aim for mobility for Adroit. So I guess they're aiming for those two cores. If one doesn't come online, the other one is going to come online.
Well, Ember is like he's like a space maker right now. He's gonna be moving around.
So what could we expect from Adroit after the laning phase? Is it going to be Adroit that's going to be putting on the pressure, or do you expect Reality Rift to be putting on the heat?
I think it's more about going to be Reality Rift putting on the heat with the Kunkka, but Adroit has weapons to deal with it. I think their heroes are really good at like defending a certain area, holding an area for Dusa to farm,
10 seconds
because you have
remaining.
the Hawk, so you have the vision advantage, and on top of things you have the Nyx
5
to scout
seconds remaining.
the map. Worst case scenario is like they come in, they're stronger than you, they have the egg, they have the boat, you're gonna lose like a support. The Nyx is just gonna die, or the Venge is gonna save somebody and you retreat. Because you have the vision, you can see them coming. So I think overall, I feel like Adroit is probably gonna be more defending or more on the defensive scenario, and RR is gonna be attacking whenever they have the egg and the boat
Looking
and
at
the Snapfire ulti.
So looking at the two drafts, who would you actually predict to win game one?
They're both quite even drafts. I think both teams have a clear line on how they want to play the game and win the game. But when you ask me who do I think will win, I'll always go to either you go to which team you feel is already a way better team. If there's no way better team, then you go to the drafts and you think about which one is easier to execute. And I think if you look at everything, I think the Medusa draft is easier to execute because you are more on the defensive side. Then after you look at this, then you look at the lanes. How many lanes are they going to do well with? Kunkka against, I'm not sure who's going to mid actually. Medusa or Ember. Both of them could go mid. I don't think Kunkka would care so much. He'll be fine against either one. So I'll consider mid lane a draw. But Medusa is going to lose her lane if she's on the side lane. And the other lane is a Beastmaster against PL. So Dire is going to have two weak side lanes. And maybe they're going to be able to draw mid lane. So it's going to be like a 2-lane loss
Prepare
for sure.
battle.
So I think overall, after considering all of that, I think overall it's probably going to be easier for R to win the game. Or more likely to win the game.
That's a really big thought process when it comes to deciding who wins the series. Does that happen in like a fraction of a second? If you
Not
watch a
really.
game? No.
Not really though, like you're gonna have to tick the box one at a time, you know. Unless you can have multiple boxes ticked with your brain at the same time, then sure.
I'm assuming you can do that, no?
Yeah, but
Or do you think slowly?
I have to go through one at a time.
Okay.
I only have one brain.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, Natsume. You have to hide in the tree there. Gotta be careful.
So
3
this
heroes.
is the lane RR is gonna win because it's a Medusa side lane. So mid lane is gonna be a Ember against Kunkka. So that's gonna be a
30
50-50 lane.
seconds to battle.
And I assume RR is gonna win both the side lanes from this. But Medusa is like I think easier win condition overall. So not saying that R has the overwhelming advantage from the draft, but I just feel like they will have a better lane, and Medusa is gonna rely on her slaves to defend the farm.
The slaves.
Her slaves to defend the area
Is this
for
how
the
you
farm.
refer to every Medusa draft? Medusa plus 4 slaves.
The battle begins.
What's the difference with that with 4 Protect 1?
Well, for Protect 1, it seems a bit more respectable to your teammates. It's like you acknowledge them as heroes, whereas if you just look at them as slaves, it's sort of, yeah, a bit
Well,
degrading.
it means the same thing to me. Everyone just, you know, plays their game, whether they're the slaves or they're you want to be addressed as heroes. At the end of the day, who's gonna win the game for you, Medusa, right?
So in other words,
You
Medusa
still have
plus
to
4 slaves.
you still have to look at the Medusa. Please carry me, beg her to carry me. Please don't feed, carry me.
Oh, you
When you
beg her.
when you need help, I'll TP. I'll be the first one to TP. That's going to happen, right? So you're basically the slave for Medusa because you do everything for her.
I do not want to be on the same team as you. Actually, no, never mind. We'll be slaves together. Because you're never the carry anyway.
You have been
Oh, it's
I don't
okay,
have
Yuto.
the ability to carry the game, so I have to be the slave. I don't have a
It's
choice.
okay. One day.
But I have fun being the slave. There are, you know, the joys of being a slave.
So what are the joys of being a slave?
Dewarding, you know how good
The
it feels when you kill the ward when he just plays it.
Oh, that okay. Everyone knows that feeling.
And hearing the gold sound when you stack the ancients and the Dusa is clearing a triple or 4 stack ancient and you
Ooh.
have that extra gold.
Okay, I vouch for this. Maybe it's not so bad being a slave.
I'm sure
Oh,
some
winter.
would argue that it may not be as fun. But I would argue that you don't understand the fun of being the slave sometimes. You have to find it. And PL is dead. He is not having fun.
Did you expect the first blood onto PL?
No,
No?
not really no. Because like I said, that's a lane that you should be happy as with the PL. Maybe not from the start, not from the get-go. And on top of things, if you look at both the support, it's a bench plus Beastmaster bottom.
Oh, looks like they managed to catch up.
I think
Poor old nuts.
what? Another kill? So I think that the Snapfire is actually a stronger support than bench overall in the laning phase because you have the powerful nuke. So I'm with you. I didn't expect that to happen. So now this happens, it changes the equation of things. Dire has somehow won the weaker lane. So it's gonna be a lot more easier for them to win the game. But here we go. This is what I mentioned, that Dusa's gonna get abused in his weak lane, but Nyx did a good job there with the stun. And he's gonna be able to survive.
So is this the theory of the whole throwing your body at the enemy? Is this what's happening here?
Well, he was just there to bodyguard the Dusa. I don't think that...
Does that
He
not
was-
count?
Sure, okay, that kinda counts.
Medusa didn't die, so Natsume's pretty happy about that.
Yep. Everything you do at this point is, if you feed, you just have to say, don't worry guys, Dusa is not dead. That's all part of the plan, that space.
Okay.
So you have an excuse to feed when you have this kind of draft.
Well, so far Natsume's doing alright. He's not really being pressured. Although he's not doing the best in terms of CS, only at 11. Could be a bit better.
He's gonna get Dolphon soon. They're going behind, they're wrapping around the Dusa. They're gonna get a Cog trap on him, I think. And
He's
is
losing
going...
health, and
He's losing health and losing
he's dead.
her life. That's just Medusa on the side lane, you know. And you don't have the best laning support. I mean, but it doesn't help the Dusa solve the inherent problem of her being weak on the side lane. Because like it's a huge difference when you have a Dusa mid. The lane is short, so they can't chase you.
And you have wards middle lane
Yeah,
to
and you
see them.
and you spam your Mystic Snake, the wave is pushed out, you jungle. You have a lot of safety.
So if you're Adroit, why are they not putting Medusa middle lane? Is it because they want to put more priority on Mac first so that he can carry to the mid game?
I think it's because of the matchup, because they don't think Dusa is going to farm very well against the Conquer. And at the same time, if they would do that, the Ember would also struggle against the Phoenix, so they will lose 2 lanes. Right now, they're losing top, but at least it's 50-50 middle.
Yep. And it looks like there's a bit of a tussle down bottom. Snapfire dropping quite low, but Bok
Fight
to
me!
commit. Yep. Oh, they throw the cookie. Is it going to be enough? They get Bok. They keep the Snapfire alive. Now it's going to be CML. Gotta love
Tasty.
those cookies.
So that's going to turn the equation back to the normal equation. So Radiant won the safe lane.
Okay.
So everything is back to normal. Oh wait,
They've
the
managed-
50-50 lane has gone Dire's favor.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Because
attack.
he has an Arcane Rune, I guess.
And Max just going to TP back into
Okay,
lane
this
as
is
well.
actually a bigger deal than the bottom kill. Because it's gonna allow the... Oh, never mind.
Oh, they're going to try and dive Natsumi again. Not quite. They don't really have enough to pull through. They've got creeps as well.
Bounty runes, bounty runes.
Radiant's middle
Get your
tower
bounty
is under
runes.
attack.
Got 1 so far for Adroit, 2 for Adroit, 3 for Adroit. Oh, they missed out on 1.
Because they were trying to kill the Medusa.
Oh, wait, there's still one more on Adroit's side. They haven't picked it up yet, so it should be 3 for Adroit.
And right now we're gonna go towards the mid lane. Most likely, there's gonna be some pressure here. The catapult is gonna arrive towards the tower and mid lane, but the supports on both sides are not yet to rotate towards mid lane.
Yeah, Alacrity's melting to this Ember Spirit.
Why do they even need to rotate when the Ember alone can get the job done?
Looks like Snapfire gets killed off as well. Adroit, they're getting kill after kill here. This time they're looking for Boomy. It's just a support kill. It's not Natsume.
How are they doing this? The PL is actually not having a good time.
So what's happening here with Reality Rift? Are they focusing on the side lanes?
I think it's mostly the individual play that's lacking in terms of laning phase.
We've got TP in as well. Nuts is back. Unfortunately, Venge has to back on out of here. Bok quite tanky.
Wow.
Gonna try and TP right in front of them, but it's under the tower. He loses his health, loses his life as well.
That looked weird at the start why he would move nearer to the tower, but because he was trying to go near to the Snapfire, so the Snapfire couldn't stun him at point blank range. But he just died in the end.
This time they managed to catch out the Medusa. The TP gets cancelled in the back lines. Natsume will go down though. He's run out of mana.
Oh, who was the one TP? Was it Ember?
Uh,
Yeah, probably it's Ember.
so
Because
yeah.
the other heroes are dead anyway. So Ember's TP got cancelled by Kanka.
Yeah. And they get another kill onto CML this time. So the Venge going down. So it's now 7-5. We've got a slight gold lead going in the way of Reality Rift. If you're Reality Rift, how much of a lead do you want before you start going aggressive and start pushing down some of these towers?
As much as you can, gain from the lanes, because you're supposed to gain an advantage with the heroes that you have. The pick sequence, this is all from the pick sequence during the game. Generally, the team, never
It's like
mind.
Nyx gonna go
This
down.
guy is dead again. The slave is down. No worries. You're allowed to feed.
Hustler's just having fun up there. He just constantly battery assaults his poor Nyx assassin.
This is important for a hero like Clockwork. If you have a core that has a good lane matchup, you're allowed to shine like this. And here comes the heroes, the hero that got his TP cancelled before this.
Mac wanting to go for Hustler. He's already used it. He's trying to burst him down. He just gets him.
Nice try. TP.
And this is sort of what happens when you have a Phoenix. You don't really have any way to protect your allies if they get jumped on by an Ember.
But it's more about Konka losing his lane, getting killed twice. That allow. Because imagine if the Ember wasn't level 7, I don't think he gets that kill. And obviously he got the DD there, but the Ember was snowballing really hard. That's why he was really strong. So right now, the state of the game, as it seems, is still pretty even.
Looking to grab Bot. Should be a very easy kill unless CML can come in. Stun is there. PL still chasing. Bot just dies. He was about
Here
to
comes
survive.
the raid boss.
Is the Phoenix going to be here to
The
save the
egg.
day? They're all going to hit the Supernova Egg. There's no way to cancel. The Phoenix goes down. KYXY tried his best. Now going to try and turn on to Boomy, but the chain's going to lock down Drew. This PL is still trying to chase him. They grab that kill. Now he's alone. Drew needs to back up. He's too low on health. It's just this Ember. He's stunned up. Mac trying to save the day. It's 1 versus 2 is low on mana. And there we go. He's going to be pulled back by the Kunkka. But do they have enough to finish him off? Though Alacrity, not enough damage. Drew's coming in. But here comes Bok. Here comes the Beastmaster to save the day. Mac will just survive. No, Hustler going to deny him that escape. Vengeance come in as well. He's missed the hook shot at point blank. Hustler. Oh, that's not a good move right there. Now Bok coming back in. Drew, the PL, though, he's managed to heal back up. Now he's going to go onto the Beastmaster. More TPs coming on through the roar to prevent the death. Drew will just go down to poor CML. He grabs that kill swap. This is a crazy team fight. Kunkka looks like he's stuck around for too long. Alacrity going to go down. He's tanky, but not tanky enough.
Lack of discipline. Lack of discipline. They already got what they had came for, and they just went for too much. For they can chase too far near the tower. Heroes respawn, and now that's gonna affect the next bounty rune.
Yep.
They might not be able to contest the bounty rune because it's gonna be. I'm not sure if they use their TPs for that fight.
I need to ask you, why would you engage in a fight like that if you're Reality Rift? Is it out of desperation? Did they
They're just like not disciplined. They're not thinking about things so far ahead. They saw hero red HP, go for kill, without thinking. Red HP hero is near tier 1, tier 1 tower, and heroes respawning so they can TP. So bounty runes would be what 3 for Adroit again.
Looks like it, yep. Adroit getting all the bounty runes, so that I believe that's 2 rounds of bounty runes where they've gotten 3.
Yep, this is the first one was not due to a mistake, but the second one, this one was definitely due to overextending. Like something small happening and affecting the objective. And
Okay,
here
wait,
comes the
sorry.
Phoenix, he has egg.
Oh, he has to use it though, and that's very unfortunate. Mac's just gonna back on out.
He's stalling on him.
He's gonna stick
He wants to
around.
clear the wave, I think, before he leave. Clear the next wave. You see, look at what he's doing. Full efficiency, but Phoenix doesn't want him to clear the next wave, so chase him away. But
Radiant
Dire are
structures
happy. The
are
egg is dropped,
fortified.
no one's dead,
No team
Dire's
fight
middle
capabilities from the
and
Phoenix.
Dusa is
now.
farming. Maybe not.
Yeah, they're gonna try and TP, and we've got 2 TPs coming in
That's
from
funny.
the mid lane. Oh my goodness, just melts.
That's actually really funny. The
Oh.
close range rain
Mortimer's
fire.
kisses, yep.
Are fortified.
And it looks like down the bottom lane, they're going to try and go into Bok. Drew going to start the initiation. They've got KYXY. There's no supernova though, so it's just going to have to be his regular spells. Drew still going. There's Hustler. Raw to stop the clockwork in his place. Boomy is in the background just to protect his teammates. Is ready if he needs to throw the stun. They won't commit though. Boomy's going to hang on to it. And well, they get 2 free kills.
Radiant's bottom tower
I suppose Boomy didn't want to lose his life. They're thinking it's too
Yeah,
dangerous, but here
the
comes
Ember
Matt.
didn't have TP. He couldn't get there earlier. But here comes the
Heals.
Ember.
Ember gonna try and go into Nuts. He was surviving. But unfortunately, KYXY's heals won't be enough. They're gonna back on out of here though, but
Should
looks
be
like
able to
Adroit,
chase
they're
with the
looking to
Ember.
commit Cogs from Hustler. Sort of just running by Hustler. He might just have to be the sacrificial lamb here. Just grab a small kill.
Hook shot, run away. Run away.
Doesn't have it. Oh, they may have just baited them in. Oh my goodness. 2-person stun, and that was a big mistake from Adroit.
High ground. Never chase up the high ground. The unspoken rule of Dota.
So
If
would you say that's just the mega bait?
I mean, you
Dire's
kind
middle
of can
tower
because he
is
could have
under attack.
hook shot away earlier to the Phoenix, but he chose to hold his spell. Like all these small little things come down to communication. The Konka is probably telling him, "Wait for me to come up. I'm getting over. Don't run away. We can turn around the fight."
We're sailing now.
So looks like Reality Rift, they're not out of it yet. Boomy gonna try
Dire's
and
middle
scout things
tower
out for
is
his
under
team.
attack.
Drew though going into the enemy jungle. Looks like he's gonna try and contest this Medusa. And poor CML, they can't do
They
too much.
know-
Phoenix is
they
there.
know it's the real one?
Bottom tower is
Do they
under
know?
attack.
Oh, there we go. They get the catch onto KYXY, and that Phoenix is gone. No protection from his teammates. Drew came back in as well, but where's his
Uh-oh.
team? Hustler coming in, gonna go in with the cogs, push back onto Mac. They're still looking though, but that's a second push onto the Ember Spirit. He's lost a lot of mana from that. And Hustler saving his teammate, almost looking to grab the Nyx Assassin, but he won't quite get it. And Drew just goes back to the jungle.
Yeah, again, they were trying to stop the Medusa from farming.
Dire's middle tower
But
is under attack.
This time, they didn't have the numbers. The Phoenix was there alone with the PL. And if you look at the vision, Dire had a defensive observer on the high road. So they understood there's only 2 heroes. We can actually defend our area. Like,
So gonna try and put a little bit of pressure there onto Mac. So what's the timing window here for Reality Rift? They don't look like they're in that bad of a position, but again, they're up against a Medusa.
no one is in a rush. Both teams will believe they can win in the late game. I think it's more about how they play to control the objectives, how much map control can either side obtain, so your carry gets a advantage of farming more spaces, and obviously the Roshan, if you look at the lineup, easier for Dire to secure Roshan with the Venge and the Beast compared to the Radiant.
There's a hasted Hustler in the river, looking to try and grab some vision with the rocket flare. There's a TP. There's Max coming in. Looks like everyone's converging into the middle lane. KYXY trying to get away. He's stunned up though. Just goes for the dive. Immediately losing the Nyx Assassin, and Hustler just in the middle of everything. Stone Gaze coming out from Natsume. They've stoned up this clockwork. Is trying to get away. Cookie to get him out of there. The swap to protect the Beastmaster. He's still trying to get away. Primal Roar onto Drew. This PL is super aggressive. They will finally lock down that Beastmaster. He's gone down. Natsume has no mana left. He's still trying to contribute to the fights. Alacrity though lagging behind. They will swap him in, and they should be able to get the Kunkka dive in by KYXY. Not doing too much though, just providing a slow, but Nuts is still trying to get away. Everyone incredibly low onto Reality Rift. They can't do anything here. They might be under siege with this tower if anyone wants to commit, but
Yeah, look at how strong the Venge Aura is with the Medusa. Once they drop their combos, the I keep thinking about Rainfire, but it's Mortimer's kiss. The egg, the kiss, the boat, everything is out. They kill the Nyx. That's it. The fight, even though they had 5 people against 3, but they couldn't really finish off the fight. But they got the tower, so RR has a healthy 3,000 gold lead at the moment. But Dusa didn't die. That's what matters for Adroit.
Medusa's net worth is only 6k compared to the 7.3 of Drew.
You say only, but we have to remember she had a terrible laning phase. She got, you know, handled by the Phoenix and Cloud in the laning phase. So considering that, I think she has sort of recovered a lot. Still behind the PL, yeah, but she has recovered considerably.
Natsumi wanting to try and farm up that
Mask of
bottom lane.
Madness. Interesting.
So we saw this Mask of Madness in the first set. Oh, KYXY gonna be caught. No chance to even go for a dive. But yeah, in the first set, we saw Natsumi also go for, I believe, both. They ran 2 Medusa lineups, and both times he got the Mask of Madness. Would you say it's just for farming purposes?
Yeah. I see, recently I seen, who was the other hero that got Mask of Madness? Like recently I noticed this item coming back into play because they buffed what, it was an extra 5 damage, right? Like something was buffed. I think it was the damage. So it made it a reasonably good item on certain heroes. I think it was Juggernauts that I recently noticed buying Mask of Madness. Because you do a lot of damage right now with the Mask of Madness.
Oh, looks like they're going to try and catch up Boomy here with Hustler. They should have enough. They pulled him back with the X.
Oops.
He's still alive though, but he should be going down in a moment. Bok decided to complete his TP. Boomy's still alive. They needed a little bit more to kill off the Nyx assassin, but they've lost the clockwork instead. And it looks like Mac looking to chase down Alacrity. There's Kunka. He's still got backup. Drew is here. There's another X. His teammates are sitting behind him just in case things go awry. He'll go for the Sleight of Fist. He'll avoid everything. And Boomy, he's still sticking around just in case things get a little hairy. Oh, they've managed to catch out Alacrity. They're going to try and heal up with the Phoenix. Should keep him alive, and no one dies.
They're like
Everyone
one step too quick. The Phoenix and Snapfire, they were like running over from mid lane. They couldn't really connect to the fight. But the Kunkka and his other 2 players have already started the fight. So you can see that RR, they are always, in this game, they're always like, not really waiting for, they're trying to play too quickly for their own good. And sometimes it's because of the previous mistake. Someone died somewhere, and then because someone died, sure, you have to get away. You can't like feel that, oh, it hurt us, and you continue to do the same thing. You have to wait for him to respawn. And I mean, that's the hard part about Dota, why people always say it's a psychological game, you know.
Yep.
It's not just about playing Dota, it's a lot about the mental aspect about the game. Mistakes happen, you have to deal with it, you have to adjust.
Looks like they're looking for some more vision.
Oh,
Oh, there's a
swap.
lot of heroes coming in. They don't quite have it. I'll try to get the sight, but he won't quite get it. I want to ask about KYXY's Phoenix. What is Phoenix going to provide in this game? Because so far he's only really used Sunray.
Fried egg.
Is that it?
I feel like the egg is not really well protected in the team fights. Once the Dusa has BKB, Amber is gonna get BKB at some point. Look at the heroes. They have range aura from Venge. They have the inner beast attack speed. The egg is gonna die. Like, and there's a Nyx. If you cast Sunray, you have no BKB, you get stunned. You don't even pop the egg, you die.
Oh, they found Drew with Boomy. They know which one's real. They pinged him as well. The chains to start off. They're going to try and heal with the Sunray again, but it just doesn't. Did the creep just stun Drew? Oh my goodness. He will go down. There's the Supernova egg. Venge is going to try and right-click it down, but unfortunately CML, he is alone. Ember did go down in the process though, but they lost the PL. CML, oh, is being cookied forward. That cancelled the Sunray, but they will look to get the Venge raw. They're coming in from the side, goes onto the high ground. He's just going to survive. CML gets another stun off, and that should be Hustler who's trying to finish the Queen. Oh, KYXY stuck in the river. He gets caught in the net as well, and Bok. Oh my goodness, Adroit, they are just styling all over this team fight in the middle river. Let's try to go for Mortimer kisses, but he wants to try and get out of there. He will cookie onto the high ground. Alacrity.
They're both in trouble if they still want to fight.
Well, looks like Adroit. They won't get too greedy. They don't want to go high ground.
I mean, you saw the fight. The moment the spells are down, they can literally no longer fight because the auras the auras and the pipe on the, as long as the Dire team they survive the burst.
And
They,
Adroit,
they land the combo but nobody dies. The fight is over for Radiant. Radiant cannot
Bounty.
chase. And you saw how strong the Dusa was beside the beast at the bench. She just does so much damage. Sure, she's behind the PL network wise, but in the game itself, her slaves do more for her than the PL slaves.
that's not very nice.
I mean, that's not very nice. Not very nice for the slaves if you lose the game, but if you win the game, you don't mind being a slave, you know.
Yep. Adroit, they've been very disciplined all game into picking up the bounty runes. I'm not sure if it was calculated or what it was, but they just seem to be so disciplined when it comes to picking up the bounty
Yeah, it
runes for the team.
Comes back to the fights. You take the fight, you lose the fight, and if so happen a fight is near 1 minute before bounty runes, you're probably gonna lose your bounty runes. I can't mention it enough. Like
Radiant's
planning is so
middle tower
important
is
during the
under
game. Like
attack.
the players have to be very aware of the time in the game. Anytime you're doing some play, be it trying to smoke, be it trying to place wards, be it trying to take outposts, everything is going to be played around the timings of the game.
This game is so close as well. Less than 1k gold
Yeah.
separating both teams.
It's
and
an even game, but you look at the team fight, so easy for Dire. That's why I felt like their draft was
Radiant's bottom
easier to
tower
execute
is under
as long
attack.
as they didn't lose the
Dire
lanes,
are
and they did not lose the lanes.
they're still hanging on
Dire's
though. They're going to
structures
try and
are
go for a
fortified.
smoke. We got Manta Style on both carries as well. Medusa and PL picking those up.
What does Ember have? Does he have a BKB?
We'll take a look at the Ember. Quite
Oh,
possibly after this
oh.
wraparound. CML,
Dire's
he's going to be the
top
one to spot
tower is
out the
under
gank. Oh no, Hustler, he missed the hook shot. And unfortunately for them, Matsuma, he's managed to get down the Stone Gaze Supernova Egg in the river, but everyone
Back.
just runs away. Mortimer
back.
Kisses coming in from the side. But again, Reality Rift, they've thrown all of their ultimates. What is it actually achieving? They will take down CML. Now the Medusa is alone. No teammates to protect her. The stuns, they're trying to finish her off, and they will finally get her. Boomy all alone will get the two-man impale. Hustler, he's actually thrown out the dust. They have spotted out the Nyx Assassin, but they've lost the clockwork in the process. Drew wants to finish off Boomy. He was going to leave the illusions, but he will commit to it. That's 3 heroes down for Adroit.
Yep, that fight was quite weird at the start. The hook shot was missed, but the Radiant they were able to force the team fight at an advantageous position. Because remember how the fight started. The Dusal, she was standing in the middle of the river, sort of like on towards the high ground, but there was no tier 1 tower behind, and they were surrounded. Even if the hook shot missed, because the position was really bad, the fight was just lost based on how they were positioned. The Dusa was on one side, and the Beastmaster was on the top area, so they weren't standing together. And you can see once the Dusa doesn't have the aura, even if one of the auras are there and the other isn't, she loses a lot of her effectiveness in the team fight.
So the auras are essentially her early game fighting capability.
Not throughout the game, I would say. Not just the early game. It's a steroid for her. That's why she's way stronger than the PL. Even though PL is considered kind of like a counter towards the Dusa because you burn her mana. But like I said, the slaves around the Dusa make the Dusa stronger than the PL.
Got a smoke gang coming in here for Adroit. No, they want to try and sneak
Yeah,
in
they know
that
the egg
Roche.
is down and the kiss is also down, so they're gonna do Roche. They have a
Reality Rift, they're going to send in the illusions. They will spot this out now.
they have egg
Alacrity,
is up. This is no good.
they're going to have to back out. Roche, not quite down to half, but they're going to try and use the Sunray to spot some heroes out. No one there though. And more illusions, that's going to stop Adroit's Roche attempt.
Yep, they have to. I don't think they have to rush anything if you are Adroit. I feel like the game, even though they are 3,000 goal behind, doesn't feel so bad for them right now.
Haste.
Because Dusa is still very strong despite losing her life in the previous engagement. Like whenever the fights start up properly for Adroit and they're on a good position, Dusa is not going to be able to die very easily because there's a Venge to save her as well.
Got
And
another smoke.
so look at the positioning. Just
Ooh,
look.
the Hawk went
The positioning is the important thing. The vision and the positioning right now. is gonna decide who gets the upper hand in the team fight.
Let's see who spots it out. Unfortunately, Nyx is in the top lane, so it's going to be 4 versus 5.
Does he have a
Drew's very
TP?
close. I'm not sure. They're going to go straight onto CML. That's the defensive support. Stone Gaze. Mac goes right in there. Beautiful chains. They've got the Raw down as well, and it looks like they're going to try and protect Alacrity. He had to boat himself to keep himself alive, but that's the Venge. There's no swap available. Supernova Egg has been deployed as well. Everybody on Adroit are on the
Bounty
run.
runes. Let's see. They lost the support,
And look up top. They're going to pick it up with Mac.
so they got all 4 runes.
Mac is looking to grab the runes.
So Adroit has 4 runes again.
Dire's
So
bottom
not the best trade for R. I think they were quite unfortunate they couldn't really get more kills. But you saw the difference right there. They were standing on the high ground, the plateau, and the Medusa was right next to the Beast and the Venge. So she was just doing out an intense amount of damage. So R couldn't really chase up the high ground. They had to put an egg on the low ground, if you remember. So they weren't in a position to run them down or chase them and kill everybody. So they could only get 1 kill on the bench.
Yeah, and Adroit's just collecting gold as well, collecting their
Yeah,
salary.
they're happy with that. They didn't lose the Medusa.
As long as Medusa lives, there's still hope for Adroit. But for Reality Rift, would you say Reality Rift might be on a clock here? If they lose one team fight, how impactful is it for them?
I don't think they are necessarily on the clock, but they have to somehow secure the Roche, which is difficult for them because they don't have very good heroes to do the Roche, and they don't have, I think, as much leeway as Adroit to make mistakes. Since if you do a mistake as Reality Rift, you're probably gonna lose Roche, right? Because there's a Venge and Beastmaster, and when you lose Roche, they're gonna push you high ground. But if you're able to kill the Adroit heroes, but if you don't kill Dusa and you're R, you can't really get Roshan. It's difficult to extend the lead.
Yep.
Because when Dusa's alive, it's not easy for you to push high ground.
And it's going to get harder because Medusa's looking to get BKB as her first item choice.
BKB Rapier probably. I think once she got the Rapier, it's gonna be a huge problem. Do they have a medallion to get Roche?
I don't believe so.
I'm not sure what Clock has.
Can we take a look at Hustler's item, please?
No Clock. No medallion. She went
medallion.
from mech. Mech is, I mean, grease is generally useful to remove the
Boomy scouting out
chains.
again. It's got to be careful. There are sentries in the river, so Boomy could
look,
get
look
caught
at
out.
look at how cautious they are. Even though they are ahead 3,000 gold, it doesn't feel, or 4,000 gold. They don't feel like the team being ahead because of the overall composition of the heroes. Even though they are mathematically ahead.
Ember Spirit going to continue farming down bottom. 4 of Adroit are in that top lane, but Ember Spirit can quickly join into the fight if they do decide to engage.
It's all about stalling so Dusa can get her next item.
And the Hawk Vision probably very handy here as well for Adroit.
It's nice for them, really nice for them to have that. And not to mention they have the Helm of Dominator creep, so that's another way of scouting.
Is this a problem if you're Reality Rift? Because they're essentially just camping Roche. They can't really move, they can't farm.
And they don't even have the Roche lineup to begin with, because they don't have the heroes to do it. That's the downside of having a Phoenix in your game. You're just picking him to bully your lane. But once you bully your lane, then what? What do you provide later to your team? You're just like a team fight hero with some team items. You don't really give your team like a stun, like a Beastmaster. Sure, maybe he couldn't win his lane. See his net worth is lower net worth than the Phoenix, but don't you feel like the Beast is more impactful in the game?
Yeah.
Just for the aura and the stun.
Aura, Primal Roar.
Yeah, you don't feel like the Phoenix, he's a force to be reckoned with in the team fights. No, you don't.
He's going
don't
for
feel that.
Shiva, so what is he just gonna be a distractor? Just go in there, Shivas.
He needs the Shiva to protect the egg, because they have too much attack speed on the Dusa and the Beast.
Oh, looks like they found Drew. Drew has a heart though, so he's very tanky, down to half. They will come in with the Sunray to try and keep Drew alive. He's going to be able to doppelganger out. There's the ghost ship though. Here comes
Here goes the
Medusa,
BKBs.
Stone Gaze. There's a hook shot, it will land onto 2. Dive is possible for KYXY, gonna go straight for the Supernova Egg. Alacrity, he has popped his BKB, but what does this Kunka do? He goes for a torrent, he's caught out the Medusa, but the swap is there from CML to protect his carry. Sunray KYXY is trying to burn through the Medusa, but is it really going to do anything? Look at all the damage coming out from Mac. They're in the front line. Heroes dropping incredibly low. Alacrity on the verge of death. He will go down. Boomy being chased down by Drew. Spike Carapace to try and buy some time. He's not dead. The Nyx Assassin survives. He goes for CML instead, and now Drew, very low on mana, being chased down by Natsume. Has he got teammates nearby to chase down the PL? It doesn't look like
That was a
it.
really terrible egg there by the Phoenix. I think he was way too scared. They threw everything onto the PL. That was a great mech from the Clockwork, and they used the cookie to heal him and push him backwards. But the Phoenix didn't want to aggressively position for his egg. Remember, the egg was like he flew behind.
He flew, yeah.
Yeah, and
flew
he cast it
backwards.
behind. I think it doesn't matter if he dies there. He needed to go in, put his egg in the middle, because the PL was on top of the enemy team and the Konka. He just needed to put his egg there. Whatever, they kill my egg. Let them kill the egg. And my
Drew
team,
would get some time
yeah,
to attack.
his teammates will kill. He was way too scared of dying there. That was my issue with the fight. I think how the fight started was
Radiant's middle tower
really
is
good
under
for
attack.
Ara, because PL was so
Radiant
tanky. He was probably
structures are
the best
fortified.
target you want the enemy to go on. And they got the mech off, they got the cookie off, everything. They got everything off, the boat off. They just needed
Radiant's
the
middle
Phoenix to
tower
man up.
has fallen.
Looks like they managed to find poor Clockwork Hustler. He just wants to do clock things. He's going to be used. And Mac just sits right on top of him. Hookshot, nothing to really protect him. No mana, no health. He'll go down. KYXY attempting to burn the Ember Spirit, but he's already on fire. He doesn't feel anything.
The Phoenix is not a good slave.
This Phoenix
Not
pickup.
throwing her body for the PL. Look at how everyone else on the Dara team threw their bodies for the Dusa. There's a difference, you know.
There's a difference.
It's a mentality in the game where everyone on the team, you look at our lineup, you know exactly how you're gonna play this game. I mean, it might seem like it's just like a joke or something fun to say, oh, we're just everyone playing for the Dusa, we are the slave, but it literally is the game plan. You
Yep.
throw everything you have, you keep the Dusa alive, she will carry the game.
Oh, they're attempting.
Here comes the risky attempt.
This is a
So
slow
slow, yeah, they're so
Roshan.
slow.
Yep.
And here comes the Hawk, they see everything.
They've got Supernova eggs, so if they maybe want to think about committing,
Yeah, but
this might be a good
what
place.
what can they do here right now? They don't want to run the high ground. They don't want to run up the high ground. Number two, they don't have enough damage for Roshan. So what are they accomplishing? They are forcing the enemy to come here, yeah, but they are not getting any part of the map in return.
And a double damage rune just spawned in the river as
For who?
well, down bottom.
Oh yeah, bot. So
Not
I think
sure.
it makes it more scary for Daya. Raiden getting the double damage rune might not change.
I don't know
Too
if
much.
Daya has vision because they've got a ward in the river, so they could spot that out with Ember. Maybe Ember goes down to pick up the DD, since they seem to be stalling around that Roche pit.
Yeah, they should. What are they afraid of? Raiden can't finish Roche. Look at their heroes. You look at their heroes and you laugh at them. You want to do Roche with your lineup? You don't have Solar, Crest on the Clockwork.
Do you think they maybe try and bait into the Roche pit, hoping
Doesn't
that
matter if you bait it or not. You can't do it means that if the enemy is not dumb, they're gonna know you can't do it, and they're not gonna be able to put themselves in a bad position because of that. And on top of things, they have Hawk, so they see everything. They know what's happening. They know how low is Roche. So what can you do as Radiant to bait the opponent? You can't because they have the information.
Oh, looks like we've got some packet loss. There
This
we go.
Medusa is so scary right now. You know, in the fights, if they don't kill her, she's just gonna kill everything.
Yep, the double damage ring gonna be picked up. Drew wanted that too, but it's gonna be on the Ember now, so you don't want a team fight against Mac. This guy's gonna be too strong. After seeing the DD rune though, would you still want to fight into Adroit? Reality Rift, they're really hanging on to that Roche pit.
They have to stay around there because Dire are the ones having the damage and the heroes to kill Roche. That's why I didn't understand the Roche attempt before. Because they are the ones that couldn't do the Roche, so what? You force the enemy there, you're not getting the map. And they are the ones that can do the Roche, so they're happy being around the Roche. They wanted to be there anyways.
Ooh, looks like they might be trying to group up. Go for a kill onto Mac. He's farming bottom. Not quite. Looks like they just want to
what does
continue
Dusa
farming.
have? What does the Dusa have?
Medusa.
Are scanning.
I think last time I checked, Dusa had.
Zero, click zero. Observer, click zero. Thank
There
you.
we go. Oh, wait, go back. No.
So the beast has Crimson and Pipe. Lads, those are perfect. the Venge has the Helm of Dominator.
They have so many defensive
Yeah,
items.
it's all the team items. Look at just compare the team items between Radiant and Dire.
What
you
if
see
Phoenix
a
had
you
a
see a
pipe?
stark difference.
Do you think a pipe would actually help out
No,
Reality Rift?
no,
So
no,
no
doesn't
defensive
matter.
items.
Doesn't matter what the Phoenix get. I think the best thing you can get as the Phoenix this game is the Shivas to help reduce the attack speed. And the Clockwork, I think if anything the Clockwork should have gone for, or could have gone, I don't think his items would change the face of the game too much, but I think the other
Radiant's
option is
bottom
having the
tower
Solar so
is
they could
under
do
attack.
Roshan.
We've got another smoke, and they want to head into the Roche pit or
No,
the
no,
enemy
they can't
jungle.
do Rosh. But
Oh,
look at
Boomy's gonna break
this is
it.
perfect, they know what's happening.
Yep, 4 staff, and that's a wasted smoke.
The supports were standing on the choke points and they're trying to do Rosh.
Radiant's bottom tower
This might just be to try and bait them out again. They probably
But how
see...
it's too slow. Like, there's no way they can bait anything at all but themselves. They can only bait themselves into a bad spot.
Yep. There's an impale. Boomy just gonna go for a stun. They probably
Oh,
see
the Mana Burn is
Hallow.
gonna own the PL.
Oh boy, gotta be so
And
careful.
look, they're just baiting their team into a bad position. And look at what Dire.
They're
They,
getting...
they push out the bottom lane so they got the farm. The Ember just flies over because he's Ember, he can do that.
And he
they're
just
not
picked up a Radiance too.
Yeah, and they're not losing anything. Beastmaster, Medusa, they are farming the jungle and lane. And here they go, they do it again, but the Hawk, they
Ember?
see.
Ember's found an invis rune, so he could maybe try and go for a backstab.
Hook
Looks
shot.
like they're gonna start fighting Ember. He's just come back into the fight. Hustler, they
Great
pop the
use.
dust. No one's there though. They
And
can't
look at
get
the mana burn.
angle.
The mana burn is like owning them. The clock is out of mana. PL is at half mana. If Boomy can get another few more mana burns, the fight is gonna be over.
Looks like they're really trying to bait them into the Roche pit. Boomy gonna be slowed down.
Oh,
by
look
the
at that mana
Diffusal.
burn!
Oh my goodness, there we go, Primal Roar onto Drew. He's stunned thanks to the Beastmaster.
Oh, great
There's
egg.
a Supernova egg, but
But-
everyone just leaves.
But they leave, yeah. The Stone Gaze will cover their retreat.
Oh, Drew's there.
Reset. So if this resets, it's good for Dire, but Medusa has no mana. She
Medusa
has to
needs to
find
get out.
mana. She has no mana.
Being chased, pops the BKB, just gonna try and run away from Drew. His teammates are nearby though. You were talking
Save
about the
the
slaves.
queen.
The
Save
slaves
the
are there.
queen.
Hook shot by Hustlers, trying to keep the Medusa in place. There's no
she's
mana
dead.
left. And it looks like she actually might go down.
Who's there?
No mana.
Where's the bench?
Dead carry. Venge's there. She actually got caught in the middle of the fight. Unfortunately not going to be there. They've got 2 buybacks available though on the Venge and the Medusa and on the Nyx Assassin. It looks like Reality Rift, they've finally been able to break through Adroit's defense. They don't want to use their buybacks.
Yeah, they were able to take away all the mana. I was always talking about the Nyx burning the PL, but the PL was also burning the Dusa. And Dusa ran out of mana in the fights and she couldn't stand and deliver the punches anymore. So the moment the Dire team is on the run, they are going to lose the fight. Because their lineup is just built mainly around standing in a place, a good position, and dishing out damage with Dusa. Once that doesn't happen for them, the fight is going to be over. But because...
It's like Adroit Sacra, they're just going to give away Roche. They
Yeah.
don't want to use buyback.
No, not worth it. Not worth it. They don't need the rush. The Radiant needs the rush more.
They do finally get the medallion though, but it was still a very, very slow Roche.
Yeah, it's very slow.
So Drew, he is the Aegis now, so he will have 2 lives in the next upcoming fights. He won't be perma-stunned to death. You still think it's a very close game?
Yeah, it's close. Both teams are...
Look at the buyback
Both teams
status.
are just looking at how they can get an advantage from fighting. Be it high ground, securing a better vision from the Hawk, Observer Ward, and initiating on, especially the support. I think if you're Radiant, you're always looking to kill the bench, because if the bench doesn't die, the Medusa is not gonna die.
So what's the plan here for Adroit? They just sort of let Reality Rift try and push up onto the high
Yeah,
ground?
just drag the
Dire's
game,
top tower
wait
has
for
fallen.
Rapier. I think once the Medusa gets to the Rapier plus Satanic, she's gonna be invincible in the fights. I don't think she can die.
Seems like it's still going to be quite a while
Yeah,
before that
10
Divine
minutes.
Rapier comes up.
Another 10 minutes. They're happy to drag the game.
So wouldn't you want to push up onto the high ground now if you're Reality Rift?
Yeah,
try
you
and
have
get
to
that
try.
timing?
You have to use the Aegis that you have right now. Maybe spend your gold on your heroes, then go. Because they just got Roshan, so they still have some time to finish whatever they need to finish.
Ooh. They're going to try push bottom, but look, we've got a couple of heroes here for Reality
Smoke, right?
Rift. Are
Are
they
they
going to see
smoked?
Mac?
Behind all
I
of
don't
them.
believe there was smoke. They were just walking into...
Oh, the Nyx is gonna get the Aghanim.
Radiant's
That's a
bottom
huge
tower
item if he
is
gets
under
there.
attack.
Huge item. Good luck pushing high ground.
Oh, looks like they managed to find find CML. Gonna try and run away, but will be slowed there with the Shiva's Guard 4 stuff. Looks like he might. Oh, looks like he won't be okay. Gets pushed forward though. Alacrity. They couldn't quite save himself. There was a Primal Roar though onto the clockwork. Ooh, looks like Bok might have just been caught out here, and it looks like Adroit, a case of just being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I think it was okay for Bench to be there. He was trying to put wards, but the Beastmaster had to pick. He was. You saw what he was doing. He looked at the bench. He was trying to see if there's anything he can do.
Look what Mac's doing. He's just pushing.
Yeah, he needed to just ditch right away when bench got initiated on. But they both have buyback.
Oh, they're gonna try and kill the PL? I don't think they can.
I think so. No PL. They should engage top if they can. Never mind. They don't really want to use the buybacks on the beast. He has no ulti anyway.
That did delay that top push though, so the tower's going to be safe for another day.
I think overall it's fine. They traded 2 kills for the tier 3 tower.
Dire's middle tower is under
Vision
attack.
in the enemy jungle.
Yeah,
It's been so invaluable for
That's a
Adroit.
very good observer ward at this stage of the game. Like when I always talk about the vision, if you look at the vision, you want to have a vision on both sides of the map, so you can pinpoint the exact locations of the enemy heroes. You generally want to do that. If you have only vision on one side, then you can't really have a full idea about where the enemy is rotating.
Well, they're going to try and contest the outpost. We've got 2 heroes coming in from the
I
river.
don't think the outpost is important anymore right now. It's late into the game. What importance right now is...
Oh, looks like there might be an engagement up top.
there
It looks like
buyback?
they found Mac.
Is it buyback if he dies?
He does.
Probably
Mac does. Boomy gonna go and quickly take the outpost just before it hits 40.
Experience.
I have to say, Adroit, they're very disciplined when it comes to taking all of the objectives. The outposts, the runes, keeping themselves in the game. Invis rune in the river, but it looks like we will finally see a high ground push coming in here for Reality Rift, and Drew's going to be healed up by the Sunray. That is one of the benefits of Phoenix. You get free healing, and it's percentage-based healing as well. They've thrown a lot of stuns. Drew's still alive though, Primal Roar. He's still got Aegis. Do you think they might be trying to delay? No, it looks like they just popped the Aegis.
So 3 Aegis.
Oh wait, there's an X on the Ember. Should be fine. Impale onto
Oh
Drew.
my god.
They're slowly chipping away, but they don't want to fully commit. Boat is there. It won't hit onto anybody as Adroit, very disciplined, staying on the high ground, although it's Mac that wants to go far forward. He's got half of his mana left, but he won't get caught out by Reality Rift. Again, the discipline.
Yeah, you see how difficult it was to push. They had Aegis and they couldn't even push the Rex. Like the constant Mystic Snake and mana burn, they're causing so much issues for PL. Because once PL runs out of mana, you don't have the same impact in the fights at all. So he has to be very careful about not getting hit by those mana burns and the snakes from Dusa.
It's going to be a very long game for us, Winter. Doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon.
Oh, it might end soon
Oh, do you think so?
if someone doesn't have buyback. Because I can't tell if they have buyback or not.
Well, we do have it shown on the left side of the screen. The only ones that don't have buyback is Snapfire,
Alright.
Kunkka.
All you
Beastmaster
need to see
and
is PR and Medusa. If both heroes have buyback, then the game is gonna go on.
What about Venge? I feel like Venge is a pretty important hero in these fights. Boomy gonna be scouting out everything. There's no detection at all on the side of Reality Rift. And
Oh, great stun.
Adroit, they're coming in. They get a 2-man stun. Again, Phoenix going to try and come in with the heals, but the Sunray gets immediately cancelled. Kunkka dropping very low. Stone Gaze will be deployed there by the Medusa. Everyone has to run away. And Boomy, he's right next to the Supernova Egg. He might be at the mercy of this Phoenix. He will get stunned. Everyone going to be sitting further back. Nice swap to protect the Nyx Assassin. They've lost the Snapfire. And with no buyback as well, that's a 4v5.
Here goes the Nyx. Can he get some more?
Could still keep going. They have no detection at all. KYXY going to be stunned up by the Nyx. Are they going to go for it though? They get the hook shot off, dives right on out of there. Actually went for the dive talent on the Phoenix. Alacrity sitting in the back lines. Drew going to run one forward. He's the only one that can really do damage. Medusa going to try and burn through Drew, but he's decided to back on out of that fight. Going to try and go onto the Emperor Spirit instead, wanting to burn his mana. Mac is very low, but he's running to his teammates. If you're a Drew, you don't want to be running into Adroit willy-nilly.
Yep. Once again, battle of the position. both sides you want to fight on your high ground. You don't want to run into low ground and engage into the enemy, even though there's one hero dead. So the next crucial items are gonna be the
Divine Rapier.
the
stun.
Rapier and Dusa.
And what's
Maybe a
next?
refresher on the Phoenix. I think if Phoenix could get a refresher, that could be a big deal.
Double Supernova Egg.
Yeah. And he's level 25 talent, so he gets the extra hit count.
Oh dear, this is getting pretty tense for both teams. And this is only game 1 of this best of 3. We've got potentially 2 more games if they manage to draw it out. It looks like we're going to go for Skadi onto Drew. So why is Drew deciding to just tank up? Is it so that he can survive for longer in these fights? He's just really tanked up. He's got heart now,
and
Skadi.
he needs the mana because he's having issues in the fights. But at the same time, you build Skadi, Nyx doesn't really care because he still burns more based on your stats, you know. So you have more stats, you get burn more.
Is it maybe for chasing?
Yeah, the
slow as
slow
well.
is very useful chasing down the Dusa. But getting the fights in your favor and then forcing the Dusa to run is the important thing.
It's quite difficult though, no? Because CML has always been there with the swaps to protect the Dusa, and Boomy in particular, his positioning has been on point just to make sure no one can really close in on Natsume.
Yeah, he's been that annoying front line.
It looks like he's going to be stuck on the low ground looking for a 4-star. Unfortunately, they don't
He
have
has
any.
Axe. Oh dear, this is annoying.
This is going to be tough.
Oh, this is so disgusting. How do you push high ground with an Aghanim Nyx and a Medusa sitting on top of the Nyx?
And Ember Spirit
Yeah,
as
what,
well.
what do you... You have to bait them on the low ground, take a fight and win the fight. I don't think you can ever push the high ground against that.
Roshan's probably going to be a key objective yet again. You'll need that secondary life on Reality Rift.
Yeah, but the same issue persists. Radiant is terrible at killing him.
Oh, they've actually smoked up. They're going to send Mac forward.
Not if they have the solar. I think he almost has enough for
Ooh.
the solar crest.
I
Do
don't
they
know.
smoke Roche?
No, there's no Roche available. It's coming up soon though. Looks like they want to go for the runes again.
I mean, if they see the Roche, they're just gonna kill it in like what, 10 seconds?
In 1 second, if someone checks it right now, Roche is up. They just send the bird in. That should be enough. Bok scouts it out. They know. Roche is up, but Reality Rift going to be scouting out as well. Boomy's there. Again, no detection. They just don't know where this Nyx Assassin is. And Alacrity's alone in the river. I don't really think it matters if there's a Sun Ray. You've lost your Kunkka. He's going to have to come back into the fight. Oh, and Drew, he tried to go and get swapped back into the middle of the fray.
Oh, stone.
He needs protection. He got stone. Looks like the Supernova will be there, but unfortunately, oh, can they get it? Oh, they will finally kill up the Supernova egg. Almost protected by Hustler, but it wasn't enough. Alacrity's come back into the fray, and Drew's here as well, looking to burn mana from that Medusa. Medusa's running out of mana. Mortimer Kiss is on the low ground. She's actually been pushed onto the high ground. She's just right-clicking like a machine gun. All these buybacks from Reality
PL's dead.
Rift. They're trying to go through on these fights, but they're just losing
I
time
mean, look
and
at
time
who's
again.
chasing up the high ground. The team that chases up the high ground never wins the fight.
Look at those buybacks.
Medusa had actually a brilliant position there, even though she got pushed up by the enemy. No one could touch her.
That was beautiful. The save was perfect. Bok being chased up by Drew. Looks like the Beastmaster probably won't care.
Dusa,
He probably
they
has
have to
back-
kill the Dusa.
Do they have anything to protect her though? Everyone's low on mana.
Just
Sunray
standing and fighting.
just doing so
Rapier.
much. The
The
rapier
rapier.
is too strong. They need to stun her.
Hello?
Anything to stop her from right-clicking.
Hello, you fight me? PL?
Oh, it's not enough. And they've got no buyback on the PL as well. No, none on PL.
Yeah,
That was a dieback.
just all the auras. You saw the difference between how much the PL could do and how much the Dusa could do in a fight, in a head-on, fist-to-fist combat.
They're all diebacks too.
Yeah, the game is over.
Look at all those buybacks.
They just-
Every single one.
They just need to get a tower and throne.
They could just,
Radiant's
yeah,
middle
they could
tower
just go
They
straight
just
to
kill the
throne.
tower and throne. They have bench aura and
Radiant's
Beastmaster
middle
They
aura.
know they're all
has fallen.
used up their buybacks too. Adroit, the Medusa,
all.
the
Oh.
slave strat
Radiant's
Yeah,
middle
wins
slave.
tower
again.
has fallen.
It's easy. It's
Radiant's
easy to
structures
be
are fortified.
on the side that has easier win
Radiant's
condition.
middle
The team,
barracks
they're
are under
stronger team fight with the aura stacking and the items. I mean, we don't mention the items enough. The beast had the crimson and hype,
Radiant's middle tower
so it
has
allowed
fallen.
the heroes to survive against the PL, especially the supports, a lot longer. You saw how long it took for the supports to die to the PL. The PL jumped in, tried to kill the supports. He popped crimson, he popped pipe. They have the Blad's aura, they had the helm aura, they had the bench aura, they had the beast aura. Everyone just stood their ground and fight. That's why I felt like the overall game plan was easier for Dire, and Radiant, they were the team that had the lineup. They could still win with the lineup, I'm not saying they couldn't,
But they
but
just couldn't find the opening.
because they couldn't rush, and they couldn't really push high ground. So they needed to somehow allow them to get rushed with some items, especially on the clockwork, get the medallion solar crest early, or they had to do better in the lanes. They didn't do good in the lanes. They were supposed to win bot with the Snapfire PL. They lost their lane against a Beastmaster bench. They were supposed to win that lane. And top lane is a Phoenix Cock, sure. They won the lane. But
then the aftermath, what sort of happened
Yeah,
after
then-
that?
whatever. That lane is supposed to go that way. Then the Kunkka died to the Ember twice in the lane, solo
Yes.
kill. So basically the game became really hard because you are the team sort of on a timer. Even though I said that they are not worried about going late game, but in the end they had to worry. They couldn't really deal with the Dusa. So those early deaths actually set a terrible pace of game for them, even though they at some point they were what, 3-4k ahead. I think that's the most they got, but it wasn't enough for them to breach high ground.
Pretty devastating loss if you're a
Yeah, I
reality
mean
rift.
this is a pretty good Dota game. Small mistakes would mean that you lose the game. You know, that's how Dota should be. You should not let the small things go away. Sometimes when you are playing against bigger teams and you do something silly and you just overlook it, you know.
So what kind of changes could we expect in the draft? Do you think the Medusa ban, since it seemed like they
Nah.
weren't afraid to pick it up early?
I don't know if they could change. I think the bans would change the offlane hero, because I felt like the Phoenix actually limited what they could do as a team a lot. They forced them, the Phoenix pick forced them to play in a certain way where they have to use the egg better. Because there was this one fight that I felt like maybe if they won the fight, remember the fight I saw, he said that the Phoenix was too scared of dying. He actually needed to just go and die that fight, and maybe if they killed the Dusa, that would be a different fight, a different game, because they would allow the PL to snowball faster than the Dusa. But that didn't happen, so I felt like if they wanted to lower the ease of execution, they needed to change the Phoenix to something that ticks more boxes in their
A
draft.
simpler hero with more stuns, initiation
Yeah.
potential, stronger laning.
Maybe they could have just picked Centaur. I think Centaur would have been fine. It would also dominate the lane. But anything that could provide more other than click a R button and hope the enemy team fights in the R button, the egg, you know.
Would you say that there's a clear MVP for you in this match?
Yeah, the Knicks.
The
I
Nyx
think the Knicks
assassin?
and the bench both. I think the Knicks played way better than the bench, but I think both of them did a lot in the game. And itemization wise, I think Dyer did fantastic. Perfect. You couldn't ask for anything better. The team had 2 4-star on the supports. They had excellent selection of team items. Mac on the correct hero. Crimson and Pipe also on the correct hero. And then they have Solar Crest on the Beastmaster. Everything you can buy as a team, they have it. And the Dusa had all the damage items. Ember also went for. I felt like the Radiance was pretty important at limiting what the PL could do in their engages. So there's that. And on top of it, he also played really well because he killed the Kunkka twice in the lane solo.
What did you think about the choice of Kunkka going in the mid lane? His impact was a bit
It
questionable
was
at
fine.
times.
I think it was a fine pick. It was just he got outplayed. You know, he got outplayed in the lane so hard. Like 2 deaths in the lane is solo kill, both solo kill. And remember what happened after he died twice? The Ember rotated top to kill them, cause he had the level advantage. He had the items faster, so he could move around to kill the Kunkka's teammates. So that itself is a huge deal, cause they had the lineup that was supposed to snowball from the start. They had stronger lanes. They had better team fight to utilize against the opponents, but that all didn't really happen well because they lost their lanes.
Well, I think there's a lot of things to fix if you're Reality Rift, as they've only got one more game. If they lose this one, that's going to be it for them. They're going to be knocked out. Let's take a look at the MVP from production, see what they thought about this. And again, Boomy, well deserved. Gave the team plenty of vision. Came in with some very clutch impales as well.
The true MVP is the US visa, rejecting his visa.
Oh no.
Sad guy.
Oh my goodness. He played fantastic though.
Yeah.
Seriously, props to him.
There were so many amazing stunts, you know. You watch how he positioned himself. He didn't have a blink, but he was utilizing the ulti to always position himself to land like a 2 or 3 man stun. He wasn't like impatient. You see someone, you go for that one person right away. You wait, you buy your time, and you look for a better angle. And the mana burns. He kept, if you watch the fights, he kept using them on the PL. And when the PL has no mana, he's done.
Are we expecting next ban?
Maybe.
He was
Possible.
so good.
Possible. I think it's a very annoying hero. And if you want to let it go, you probably have to pick like lifesteal or certain heroes against it. You can't just let it go and don't do anything about it. But on the other hand, I felt like this game, the real issue was because of the strategy. It wasn't just because of this Nyx pick actually ruined our game. There's a lot of other underlying problems.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, Winter. As for us, we're going to let the players get ready for game 2. So we're going to go for a quick break, and once we're back, we'll jump right into it. See you soon.